Well, for a closer look at what kind of network could lie behind last week's attack, so let's bring in our guest. Ricardo BARETZKY is president of the European Centre for Information Policy and Security and a specialist on terrorist threats. Thanks very much for being with us. Now, the Brussels and Paris attacks have been linked by investigators. The question now really is how many other people could be involved?
Well, it's very difficult to say. The terror network we estimate is rather very huge. And, to speculate to say, well, there's so many people or a few more is rather very dangerous. I can say this, that the present research indicates that there could be many sleeping cells in Europe that hasn't been paid attention to.
And are we in fact right to talk about a network as such, or more sort of individual groups and cells? What I'm getting at is how much of an organised structure do you think there is behind these attacks?
Well, first of all, these attacks is very, very well organized. This is terrorists like we have not seen before. And the important part is that these groups has very well structured intelligence services within their own networks. And that is what makes them extremely dangerous, particularly unknown and undetected for security services within Europe.
And there do seem to have been a lot of people involved. Many of them were known to the authorities in one way or another, not necessarily as potential terrorists, but as criminals of some kind. Have our security services here in Europe been lax in their surveillance of potential attackers?
I think it's not so much that they've relaxed. I think the question is that we need all of Europe to work together. We need a universal European intelligence service. It's not in place at the moment. We need a universal European police service, and that is not in place at the moment. If these two factors is put into place during we have the 28 member states, then certainly a lot of these problems will be diminished. I won't say they will disappear, but they would be reduced and the risk will be reduced.
That does sound like quite an ambitious thing to hope for, though, doesn't it? At a time when Europe can't agree on so many things, the migration crisis, for one, borders going up, physical borders around the European Union, a European police service of some kind seems to be like quite a far-off ambition.
Not really. First of all, there's only two options at this point left. The first one is to bring strong border control. That means bringing back the borders, and the free trade within the European Union will suffer. The only solution is that we have an external border stepped up, and within the external border between the 28 member states is to bring in a unified police and intelligence service.
Thanks so much for being with us, Ricardo BARETZKY, with some more insights there on the terrorist threat here in Europe. Thanks so much.
Okay.